I was flying back from Austin today, got the alert. Hey, just in time for tonight's show, ESPN has dropped post-spring updated, hot off the presses, top 25 preseason rankings. And I am prepared to speculate wildly. I am prepared to overreact here. What I'm not ready to do is release my own top 25 yet. I still want to marinate on some things. I still want to visit some programs, talk to some coaches, and that's really just cover for we're not ready yet. But ESPN was. And I'm going to react here. They are up on your screen. If you're listening on podcast, I'm not going to take time to read all 25, but I will tell you Notre Dame's at number 4. I think Notre Dame is low at number 4. Multiple strengths of that team. I don't really know what the big weakness would be. Granted, none of the top 5 really have weaknesses, but I love Notre Dame at quarterback. I think I'll end up loving him at receiver. I know that this week's NFL draft is going to see 2 really good running backs head to the NFL. I don't think proper respect is being paid to how good the backfills at running back are going to be for Notre Dame. I don't expect a ton of drop-off there. I expect that position group to still be a net strength, which just shows you how good they are. And they're hungry because, according to a guy whose question we'll read later in the show, they haven't won a big game in his lifetime. I don't know if you've heard that. Notre Dame hasn't won a big game in forever. I disagree, but whatever. So that stood out to me. Brigham Young at 12. This is going to sound really weird, but I think Brigham Young's a little too high at 12, yet I have them circled as my biggest playoff sleeper. Because number one, I do like the team. I just don't think like quality for quality, shot for shot, they belong above an Oklahoma or like an Alabama per se, or Michigan even. But when you look at them having a bottom 10 strength of schedule, when you look at them having a very, very high returning production rating, and when you look at just overall the identity of the program and the fact Kalani Sitake could have left, and yet he's still there, I really think they're going to gear up for a run this year. I don't know, again, in just a static comparative world, Brigham Young quite stacks up to be a number 12. But, 18, 19, that's probably where I'd start him. Bama's at 16. Penn State's at 15. To me, having Penn State above Alabama at this point is just indicative that you're trying to project a little bit with your rankings, which is okay. I don't choose to do it that way. I just choose to do my rankings as here's where I think these teams are starting the season, and I'll adjust as the season goes on. But if you're trying to sort of kind of predict how the season's going to go, Penn State plays a garbage schedule. Alabama, look, we think they play a soft schedule by SEC standards, but it's still one of the 15 toughest in the country this year. And so it makes all the sense in the world. You may think Penn State finishes better than Alabama. But if you're telling me if they played in week 1, you'd choose Penn State to beat Alabama on a neutral field, that's a bridge a little too far for me. So I would say the same thing, for example, about the fact that TCU's 23rd and a team like Florida is not ranked. And I'm not saying Florida just belongs top 10. I'm saying that if I were to put them on a neutral field to start the season, I'm not sure I'm picking TCU to beat Florida. Jaden Craig, though. Hey, guys, do me one favor. Check and see if you're subscribed to the channel. If you are, great. If you're not, it's that easy. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't sign you up for anything. It just helps us do the show this way forever. All right, back to the clip. Whoever put these rankings together obviously has a lot of confidence because you guys probably know, man, didn't TCU lose their quarterback to Indiana? They did. Josh Hoover's gone. Jaden Craig stepped in. He transfers in from, wait for it, Harvard. And, the way college football is going now, it makes all the sense in the world that a Harvard quarterback would end up vaulting a random Big 12 team into playoff contention. So maybe TCU's too low for all I know. Lincoln Riley better hope this is wrong. Because these post-spring rankings have USC at number 20. And that makes them good for number 8. I want to say in the Big 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. If USC is no better than Iowa or Washington, all due respect, this year, Lincoln Riley's cooked. So I disagree with this. I would probably guess I'd have USC way closer to 10th than 20th to start the season. We're going to talk about USC more in the show later on. LSU is at 11. Is that LSU's entry point? How close to accurate is this, do you think? How close to accurate is it to predict LSU will be the 11th best team in the country when the season starts? If it's accurate, there are going to be LSU folks who think that's low. I disagree. I actually think it's a really, really good sign. If you're already a borderline top 10 product by the time the season starts because of how new everything is, including the fact that you haven't really even gotten to see your quarterback a whole lot in spring, and so you got the whole rehab situation, not to mention everything's new down there. That one, I think, will evolve. I think LSU as a team could evolve for the better as much from week 1 to week 8 as any team in the country. I'm looking at Texas at 5. I'm looking at Georgia number 3. And it comes down to instinct versus logic here to me because I think Texas is going to be a better team than Georgia this year. I think Texas will start the season as a better team than Georgia. However, my mind quickly instructs my heart to go back and look at the last 3 times they played. And I was there. 2 of the 3 times I believe I was there. I'm not a fool. I haven't forgotten that. And so I even think if I were doing rankings, I'd probably put Georgia ahead of Texas. Just because benefit of the doubt, especially in rankings, means a lot there. Means a whole lot. Now, luckily for Texas and most of these teams here, they'll play a strength of schedule to where any doubt that may or may not be cast upon them has a lot of chance to be erased. The other thing is Michigan's just floating here at 14. And if Michigan is that quality of team, if they're a top 10 to top 15 caliber team to start the year, okay, well, that's an entry point that I wonder how that one evolves as the season goes on. How much better can a Bryce Underwood get as the season goes on? Oklahoma at 13, same thing with John Mateer as the season goes on. But I'm looking at the Big 12 there, and you've got like Utah in there, and you got TCU, and you got Houston. None of them are top 10 except for Texas Tech. Brigham Young's 12, though. Really, 1, 2, 3. Jesse, do you count 4 Big 12 teams or 5? Where am I not looking? Who's 5? Yeah. If you got 5 Big 12 teams as top 25 caliber teams this year, comparatively, that would mildly surprise me. Mildly surprise me. But I hope it's true. So I hope I'm wrong there, and I hope this is accurate.